The Living by Oak Values podcast with Gary and AJ. Tune in Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Shoulder to shoulder, brick by brick.
Disclaimer. We are unqualified and unapologetic. We are not professionals. We are not doctors. We are not therapists or mental health experts. Just a real couple living real life. So take what works, leave what doesn't. Let's do this.
Sessions and lessons unscripted. Say it twice so you don't forget it. Hey! Session lessons unscripted. Hit record, let the mess get edited in my Mic on, brain off, laugh lines, trade cards. Spilled tea, spilled truth, old scars, new proof. Inside jokes on an honest loop. Side quest in a living room booth. We don't plan, we just press play. You say careful, I throw the script away. Yeah. Sessions and lessons unscripted. Every stumble gets uplifted. Turn my problems into punchlines, twisted. Still I feel my spirit lifted. Sessions and lessons unscripted. Every secret gets remixed, shifted. If it's awkward.
I would totally sing along with this if I could sing, but I cannot, so I will not.
Sing anyways, dear.
No, not at all.
Sing like nobody's listening.
Stop it, I'm mad at you.
Explain why.
Hello, everyone. This is Joel, host of Sessions and Lessons Unscripted.
And I am the annoying co-host. Welcome. How's everybody doing?
That's Gloria,
Yes, that's me. That'd be I.
the annoying spouse. This lady's so lucky.
He chose this life.
I sure did.
Sucker. I told him to run and he didn't.
You kind of did.
I did.
Well, not really.
I was very honest.
You were honest, but you weren't trying to push nobody away.
Oh,
Because you know what you were getting into. You know what you were going to marry eventually.
eventually.
This big blob of man.
Love that big blob of a man.
Hey, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Don't, never mind our...
We're just
silly-
bickering.
Yes, very minor, but we're good.
Yes. No divorce yet.
No, it's cheaper to keep her.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling a little wonky. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's my meds or what.
Maybe it was the upset that we just had.
Well, raising my blood pressure doesn't help, and she's pretty good at that. But other than that, I don't know. I think it's just the meds.
Yeah.
That or like a sleep.
But I think it's a combination of both.
Maybe.
Yep.
So how are you, my love?
I am doing A-okay.
Love of my life.
Yeah. I'm sipping tea.
Oh, you're not drinking tea?
No, you savage.
My coffee game is getting kind of messed up, I think. Well, I used to drink a ton of coffee, and then at one point I went to the doctor, and he said maybe you should cut back on the coffee some. So I did. So I usually would only have 1 cup a day, like in the morning or whatever, go to work. And then once I started taking better care of myself and trying to reverse what I've done, I actually didn't drink any coffee at all in the mornings. I basically cut it out, which was, I wouldn't say it was difficult to do, but I mean, eventually I just stopped drinking it. And then now I'm back drinking. Well, I've started drinking my 1 cup a day, and then it's slowly kind of creeping up, and I don't know. I probably should watch that a little.
I think so.
Because I feel like I'm drinking more than I usually do.
Well, I haven't had coffee. Well, I mean, I wasn't sleeping for like 3 weeks, I think it was, that I was having problems.
Yeah.
So I have not had much coffee. I had 1 cup, maybe, I think it was Friday, but that's because I got up at like super early in the morning.
You rarely drink coffee. You're always drinking tea.
Yeah, I have to be in the mood for coffee, and it's always iced coffee.
Which I've told this story before. I think cold coffee is disgusting. Well, let me back up. Cold coffee, that if I have a cup of hot coffee, it's got to be hot. I mean, I want it hot.
Right.
Once it starts getting cold, I find it gross.
I find that so weird because...
But if you bring me a coffee drink from like
Dunkin'.
one of the stores,
Yeah.
I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
So, I don't know. I think I've outgrown Starbucks. I never thought I would get to this point.
Thank God.
I know, but now I'm a Dunkin'.
That was weird. Starbucks became like this thing, a weird thing to me. Like, I could probably count on one hand the times I've been there.
And that's all because I forced you to
And
go
that's
with me.
because Gloria, I mean, she'd always go before we met. And then during.
Their drinks kind of haven't been that great, at least.
I think they have competition. That's why.
Yeah. And you know what? As a matter of fact, not this week, but the week before, I think, remember when I told you that I was going to go check on my cousin?
Mm-hmm.
We went to this coffee shop that's in Elmhurst. And we had a weird combination. It was like lavender coconut.
Yuck. Okay, let's move on.
No, it was so good.
Ew.
But yeah, I've definitely outgrown Starbucks. I mean, I might stop by in there for...
Look, everything. I know everyone out there listening, everyone's going through some sort of monetary issue or struggle or things are, I mean, gasoline prices, my gosh, oh my gosh. Just everything's more money, and people are either making the same, not enough, less than they used to, whatever. Everyone's got some kind of plight or whatever, some kind of issue. Why does it cost? Man, I'm telling you, a cup of coffee should not cost $7, $8.
No. But I will tell you that I think I switched over to Dunkin' because their rewards points.
Yes, and if they're listening, we'll probably sponsor.
Oh, I love Dunkin'. Love you guys. They're awesome. No, but their rewards system is really good. So when I'm broke, starving, and gaming, like, don't have any...
Wait, let me come up with a slogan. Time to make the donuts. Oh, wait, that's like one of their first ones.
But no, I have free coffee from them at least twice a week if I have it.
I end up owing. I don't get nothing for free.
No, but you know what though? This summer I was just thinking that I'm gonna do my regular herbs. I'm gonna start planting my regular herbs. But I'm gonna focus more on herbal stuff for teas.
Oh,
like lemongrass and lavender.
Well, you kind of do that anyways.
Yeah, but this year I think I'm going to focus on it more because, I'm drinking lemongrass tea right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
gross.
I grew mine last summer and it was so good.
Gross.
And this just tastes, I don't know, it doesn't have a strong taste to it. I like my teas strong.
Okay. Still gross. No, I tried to be a tea drinker, but I don't know. It's got to be, maybe I got to, I mean, there's so many options. Like, maybe I got to, like, venture out of the Earl Greys and English breakfast and
many different
black
ones.
tea. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, and I think the fresh stuff that I make tastes so much better than the store bought. It's just last year I had a snag, and my plants all almost died because they got some kind of virus or something.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of my herbs and plants needed to be pulled out. So I didn't have a big harvest, but this year I'm going to really focus on that.
So nothing new and exciting happened to you this week?
No, it's been pretty calm, pretty chill. I'm still getting over my allergies.
I'm trying to think if anything groundbreaking has happened to me. Not really. I've been trying to, there's some stuff I'm trying to accomplish. I think I'm doing pretty well with, this whole journey I'm on now with, trying to become a better person and just all of this stuff. And, like my brain's always going a million miles an hour, and there's like things I want to get out, I want to work on, projects I want to work on, stuff like that. I think it's just a matter of prioritizing and just kind of taking one step at a time. I think sometimes I do feel a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And add the other everyday life stuff, throw that in there.
Well, see, we have normal people jobs during the daytime, and
yes, this is not. Yeah, we have day jobs. We're like real people, like all you guys.
No, and it's. I've been explaining to people because they ask me like, "Oh, so is this like for fun?" I was like, "Yeah, but it's a job, an unpaid job."
Look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I would like to make this a job. I would like to make my writing a job. I would like all the extra stuff I do. That's what I want to do, like with my life. I don't want a regular job.
No, but I mean, you have to admit though, and Joel doesn't know I was going to talk about this, but we've been looking at our listenership, and the numbers are going up, and I hope that one day they will climb to higher heights. But I'm actually proud of what we've accomplished with the podcast.
I mean, yeah, when it's not even a year, almost a year, and man, trust me, I sat on this idea for the longest time, wanting to start this thing. Excuse me, and because of fear, of uncertainty, doubt, whatever, I didn't do it. Right? Finally, I decided to just do it. It's evolved a lot in the within the year.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just gonna get even better and better because I have so many ideas and stuff I want to do, and it's gonna continue improving and getting better. Yeah, but when I first started, oh my gosh, I was afraid. You could hear it in my voice. It's like the quality wasn't great. And then even early on, Gloria didn't want to do it. And then she started. And then the more we did it, it became more fun and more, we had some pretty good conversations, I think, anyways. And the whole, we try to cover everyday stuff people deal with every day. And I know when we speak, we're speaking from experience, right? So Gloria and I both have mental issues with depression. Like we've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorders or whatever. We both were victims of abuse. We both
we've been through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we've both have lost people and have been grieving, and we've been there, we've done that. So with this, we try to talk about that stuff, but not like, I mean,
we have had some serious episodes that aren't all haha funny.
Yeah.
But we usually try to keep it light, or as light as possible. I mean,
yeah.
When you're dealing with mental issues and...
I think you can talk about your issues or whatever's going on in your life and kind of take a little bit of a breather. You know what I mean?
There's certain things that we don't talk about on this podcast. There's plenty of other podcasts out there, if you want to listen to political stuff or whatever.
And like our little disclaimer says, we're not therapists
and we're really not.
Yeah, we're not any kind of medical professionals or anything like that. I barely read, okay, everybody? Like, I barely read books. So, which is very ironic being an author, but whatever.
Right.
But it's, like I said, the show started off a certain way and it's been evolving and changing and stuff. And, like we say in the beginning, it's like, if we say anything that kind of resonates with you and it helps you out or anything like that, great, and if it's just whatever, you just leave it behind. I mean, it's
hogwash then.
Yeah, then it's whatever.
We don't take anything personal,
No.
There are people who have been benefiting from our shows, and I hear about it. And we are very thankful for each and every one of you guys. Each and every one of you. Whether you guys subscribe or follow or listen here, there.
Or listen in the background and pretend like you don't. Or watch videos online and not like them or anything. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
No. But
when you interact with them, don't interact. Because social media is not for being social.
Yeah.
I'm being facetious, of course.
We'll stop it.
But I love you all. I do.
Yes, we really genuinely do appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Yes, 110%.
And again, we're just getting started. We're almost up on a year. Obviously I have an offshoot of sessions and lessons. Glowing off script. I haven't been on there for too long, but I feel like the shows and the episodes and the guests have been getting a little better and better as I get more comfortable being on my own and conversing by myself sometimes. So it's a learning process, but either way, thank you guys for also following there. Just like to remind you guys that we will be releasing episodes for that every Friday. And we release episodes for sessions and lessons Sundays and Wednesdays without fail.
That's a bold statement. Without fail.
Without fail. We haven't failed yet.
She's been putting the pressure on.
I have.
Pressure.
So yes, guys, thank you guys so much.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
And maybe I shouldn't say this. That's okay. There's no one listening. Anyways, I think when we come up to a year, we should maybe do something special.
Oh, I agree.
One lucky winner. Or, well, like I said, no one's listening.
Maybe we should discuss this before.
Yeah, maybe I'll put that
We'll
back
do
in
something fun for our year.
Yeah. We'll dress up Glory at least something and we'll film it on video.
We could have people vote on what they want me to wear, like costume-wise.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if you want to open that door. Yeah, let's not do that. Scratch that.
Let's scratch that.
Yeah, go erase that part of the tape. All right, so Gloria and I, before we cut the mics on, we were just BSing like we always do. And I forgot, we were talking about mirrors on some random, and this is going to sound funny to some, but like every morning when I wake up, I'll look in the mirror and I won't lie. Sometimes I don't do it. I don't do it as consistently as I should. But I try to start my day off with, kind of positive thoughts and affirmations and kind of give myself a pep talk, right? Looking in the mirror. Because that's like what? The first thing you see when you wake up. You get up, go to washroom, bathroom, whatever, and you look in the mirror. And I try to stay positive, give myself a pep talk, tell myself positive things, stuff like that. And when talking about looking at yourself and mirrors and all that kind of stuff, we were kind of just talking about like, you look in the mirror and you try to wonder like who that is staring back at you.
Right. And
I guess maybe I should just get into it, right? Like what I think I see when this is going to sound, this is kind of, like a byproduct or whatever, but I personally, one of my issues, mental issues or whatever, is I have body dysmorphia. So what I see in the mirror is probably different from other people see. It's weird. I won't get into the details of it, but people out there that have body dysmorphia kind of know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so you know, I would want to say, I'd go as far as say this, as I've lived a lot of my life kind of like on default setting, I guess. I don't know if that's makes any sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, I left home when I was 15 years old, and I started this life where I had to jump from 15 to adulthood. And I didn't really grow up, you know, and
Normal sense.
yeah, I didn't really grow up in the normal sense. So it's like, I don't want to say my path was already kind of planned out for me, but I just kind of started and just kept going that way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, I was living for other people, for sure. I was not living for myself at all. I didn't start doing that until after she died and I was trying to figure stuff out.
Right.
And I'm already here in my, at that point, I was what, in my 40s?
Yeah.
Just think about that. I'm 15. I'm in my 40s. That's a long time. So how do you undo, you know, however many years that is?
Right.
And then, like, already being a grown-ass man, trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Figure out, you know, what my purpose is, what am I about, what's the real deal? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I still, to this day, because it's like a roller coaster, and I've mentioned that in my book or whatever. It's like up and down, right? So I'm getting there. I'm you know, we're always a work in progress, right? As long as you're progressing and not staying still. But yeah, I mean, it's stuff I'm still working on.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, every day is going to be different. You know, there's going to be days where you feel good and other days where you're just like not trying to look in the mirror and you're avoiding it, you know?
yeah.
I kind of have the same routine in the morning, but the first thing I say to myself in the morning is, who's that beautiful bitch in that mirror?
Do you really say that?
Yes,
or?
I do.
No,
I do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got to be your own hype person. I always say that. To other people, I might not be so pretty, might not be perfect. You know, I think
You're perfect to me.
I think I'm perfect just the way that I am.
To me, though.
With
no one
adjustments, you know, that need to be made here and there, but...
Attitude adjustment.
Attitude adjustment. You need to stop. You knew you were getting all of this. I don't know.
stuck.
I think in my younger years, it was kind of easier for me just to kind of not give a crap about anything. But as I've gotten older, I don't know if it's because I'm more self-aware or just because my confidence is a lot better than what it used to be. Well, here's the thing. When I was really, really like a kid, like I'm going to say a little girl, maybe 7, 8 years old. I'm going to tell this story. So I don't know if I've talked about this story. I know I've talked about it on Facebook and at least once, but we grew up near a water park and it was called Rainbow something. I don't remember what it was, but it was a big water park in Des Plaines, and every summer it was like the thing to go there. And I didn't grow up in Des Plaines, but I lived in Rosemont. I was like right at the border, and my friends from Des Plaines were like, oh, come on, let's go. So I went one time. And I was never really comfortable in my body, even at that young age. I think I was like 10 at this point. And I always wore a white t-shirt over my bathing suit just because I wasn't comfortable with people looking at me.
Right.
You know, that has a lot to do with the sexual abuse. But I remember that I used to dunk in the water and, you know, jump up and down and just kind of pretend that I was like a mermaid or something.
Oh,
And
I think you have told me this story.
Yes, I have told you this story. So there was a group of boys. They were probably around my age. I want to say maybe 10, 11, no older than 11. And I'm just playing with my friend and I'm like dunking in and out and jumping out of the water. It's obviously the shallow end. And one of the boys goes, he's like, "You look like a beached whale." And
Wow.
I was like, this is how naive I was, right? I was like, yeah, because whales are awesome, right? So I was like, watch what I can do. And I started like splashing around. And when I came up for air, the boys looked all confused. They're like, because you're big. I was like, I know, whales are huge. That's like so awesome. And everything that they said.
You know, that story is so like mean, but great at the same time.
Yeah, because I never took what people told me seriously. Like, and I was just I was never a mean kid at that age. You know, I was just very friendly, very like open to whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, it's because you're enormous." I was like, "Yeah, whales are huge, man." And I just like, and they kept on looking at me confused. Like, why aren't you getting upset? And it's like, you know, by the end of the day, the boys were already playing like with my little friend group or whatever, so it was fine. But I didn't understand what the boys meant until I was a little bit older.
Right.
I was like, holy shit, they were trying to insult me.
They were insulting
But
you.
I was so naive and so like, I don't want to say innocent, but like, I just thought it was the greatest thing to be called a whale, you know, just because I loved whales and that was it. But I mean, when I realized what it was like I couldn't help but like laughing at myself because, you know, it was funny. But there were times where it wasn't so funny and, you know, you would have older adults telling you like, "Oh, you're fat," or "You're this," or "You're that." And it was always, "You need to lose weight because you're never going to find a husband. You need to lose weight because you need to look like the other girls. You need to," and I've never been super skinny. I wasn't like obese when I was younger. You know, I was thicker than most girls, but I wasn't like fat. Now I'm fat, dude. You know, compare me to back then. Man, I was looking at some pictures from like my preteen years, like when I was like 12, 13. And I was like, I would kill to look like this now. And they were calling me fat back then. I was like, call me fat now. But, you know, I don't know. At some point, it was just like I got tired of everybody telling me everything, you know, this and that. And I was like, you know what? You don't worry about your funky self. You know, you're a grown ass lady telling me that I'm like not going to find a husband. I'm like 10. Like, you need to chill out, lady.
Some people just need to stay in their lane.
No, and it was like, you don't see that kind of stuff to a little girl who's developing.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of that stuff stuck with me, but it took me a long time to get to the point where I'm at right now. Like, I walk around looking like a homeless man 90% of the time. Do I not? Yes, big hoodies, sweatpants, leggings.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. A homeless man. I don't think I'd go that far.
No, but I seriously...
I don't think I'd want to be married to a homeless man.
No, but you know what I'm saying. I'm frumpy most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that when I feel like it, I could do the complete reverse. And
you do clean up nicely.
I
yes, you
absolutely do. And I know this. You know, but it took me a long time to get to this point to where if I feel like wearing a dress and
where you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, I don't care. My cleavage is too low. It's offensive to you. Don't look. My arms are too flabby. Doesn't matter to me. I'm comfortable in my skin. And some people never realize that, and it bothers them. But it's just like, so what? You know, what people think, and I say this constantly, what people think of me is none of my business.
Right.
That's your issue. That's your feeling.
And we constantly listen to people and then believe what they say, which in turn we turn into some kind of dialogue or whatever. That it's a lie. I mean, you've come up with just lie that you keep telling yourself, and then you believe it. And it's like what they say is, oh, that's confirmation of something, this already confirmation. I am no good. I am.
But see, I think I did that a lot, especially in my younger years, when I was still developing and kind of trying to figure life out.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come from an abusive background where you witness like domestic abuse, where you witness abuse, verbal, physical, mental, psychological, all that type of abuse. And you start to think that it's normal. So we kind of are programmed to accept what people tell us about ourselves.
Right.
Because that's what we grew up with, that's what we see, and we see it as normal. And when you're developing and you're growing up and you're growing into yourself, you don't necessarily understand that you decide who you are.
Right.
You decide your self-worth and you decide who gets to be in your life. Mm-hmm. And I realized that probably, I don't know, when I was like 14, 15, like, man, I don't have to talk to this person. And I don't have to let her or him, doesn't matter if you're my aunt, my cousin, my friend, my neighbor, even my own parent, whoever it is, you have no right to talk down to me like that. I'm worth it.
Right.
And it took me a long time, but when I finally got it, it's like something clicked.
Right.
It was like, you know what? I am worthy. I am, allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to voice my opinions. If people don't like it, oh well.
Mm-hmm.
And once you come to terms with that and you accept that, and it's the most powerful thing that you could do for yourself.
Right. All right. So I was doing a little bit of research and reading up on like trying to find out who you are and who you like your worth and all of that kind of stuff. And then I came up with some stuff here that we can discuss.
Okay.
So I guess they say there's a baseline, right?
Right.
Like there's a I guess like what I'm trying. There's a terminology for it I was gonna say, but there's like
spectrum.
Not a spectrum, but there's like a level that like a regular level, like your baseline. I guess that's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah.
So when nobody's watching and there's nothing to gain, how do you actually behave? So how much different to the baseline is that?
I'm more quiet when I'm by myself.
So you would say, me personally, I think, and it may, I don't want to say I feel ashamed to admit it, but I think I'm not as wishy-washy as I used to be.
Right.
But I'm still a little wishy-washy from time to time.
Yeah.
Which
I tell you that all the time.
Yeah. So it's like, and I admit it. So there's my baseline, which I, for the most part, stick and, I'll stay steady. But there's the valley peaks and valleys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least for me, anyways. What about you?
I don't know. I think. Wait, can you repeat the question? I'm kind of
like if no one's watching,
yeah,
and you have nothing to gain. There's nothing to gain from it. How do you act? How do you behave?
Like myself? I don't.
So you would say you stay pretty much
consistent.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
I mean, obviously when I'm around certain people, I get more animated with certain people.
Right.
And with other people, I'm a lot more calm. It just depends on the situation.
I guess that would be deemed normal, right? Because like you just kind of adapt to your surroundings.
Yeah. I mean,
But there's a difference, though, I think, because you can be kind of, I mean, I guess you can be like a chameleon, but you kind of don't want that.
No.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think I'm I can't even say the word.
Words, Gloria, words.
I know. I'm obnoxious, I think. Or I can be.
She can be, yes.
No, because, I mean, I'm a goofball as it is. A lot of people don't get to see that because I don't like to socialize a lot. But I mean, I'm singing and dancing no matter where I'm at. You know, we've annoyed people at the store like that before, if you remember.
Quick story. Early in our relationship,
Very
and this
early.
is one of my I love this memory. This is one of my favorites. So Gloria and I went out, and then that's
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, Gloria. No, it wasn't Hobby Lobby. Gloria wanted to help me decorate my tree for Christmas, so it was weird because we both like doing themed trees. So I was like, "Oh, you do themed trees? I do themed trees." So we went to the craft store and we went to look around, of course, because we're both nerds. We were just geeking out over all the cool stuff there and whatever. So at one point, I ended up wearing antlers.
We separated for a little bit.
Yeah, we separated, and then I grabbed a pair of antlers, which I put on.
Yeah.
And then I think you had a pair on also. Did you put on?
I had elf ears
You
on.
had elf ears or something.
I did.
But we met each other. We both had.
We weren't expecting it.
Yeah, I had antlers and she had elf ears. And at one point, we got what we were shopping for, and we got in line, and then we were having so much fun. And then there was we're standing in line, and there is an older gentleman in front of us, and we're just having fun, laughing. We're not being obnoxious and just vulgar or anything. It was genuine, like,
a moment.
just happiness, right? So at one point, Gloria, she's laughing, and she, like, puts her hand on my chest, and then she puts her head on my chest, and then, you know, I got all the warm and fuzzies. It was so nice. And then this guy was so annoyed from our happiness.
It looks good. But I think he was annoyed because his wife wasn't like hurrying up.
He was complaining about his wife or something like that. Like you could tell he didn't want to be shopping. He wanted to be home.
Bah humbug.
But
I think that's my favorite memory because I think that's the moment that I fell in love with you. Like I genuinely realized like this is my weirdo.
Yeah, it was great. It was one of my favorite memories.
But see, that's the type of stuff that Joel and I do. We do weird things and we're just kind of goofing off all the time. So, I mean, whether I'm with him or whether I'm with my cousin or my sister or anybody else, I'm myself. You know, I try to bring happiness wherever I can be because misery is everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to bring a little bit of joy to people. And I know that sounds weird, like, oh, I want to make people laugh, but it genuinely makes me happy to see other people happy.
Yeah, same.
You know, so.
But I think, excuse me, I think sometimes it kind of bites you.
Yeah.
You know?
But, oh, well.
Yeah.
If you don't like my happiness, then, you know.
Go be miserable
somewhere else. Go be miserable in your little misery corner over there, buddy.
All right. So another thing that I came up with was you got to think that if you're part with some of the issues that you have to kind of think, you have to take accountability, right?
Of course.
You got to see if you're part of the problem. So, like, say...
I'm always the problem.
Yeah, you are a problem.
I am.
So, like, what kind of patterns keep repeating themselves in, like, your relationships? And then, like, what would you say is your part in it? What's your role? Because if the same thing keeps happening over and over, you might be part of the problem.
Right.
Right.
And I've always thought that if you're having a lot of problems in your, like, relationships, whether it's marital, boyfriend, girlfriend,
financial, whatever, any issues.
You're the common denominator in all of those. So maybe you might be the problem. I know I'm the problem, and I'll accept that 110%.
That's the big thing to me. Like, and I've been doing that a lot lately. Accountability.
Right.
Like, I call myself out on my own BS. Like, a lot of people don't do that, and it seems like it's getting worse. Right?
Oh
People do not.
Yeah.
People do not want to take accountability.
Absolutely not.
So, like, I know every day I deal with people like this. Like, they don't want to be accountable. They don't want to. They always want to point the finger at someone else. They want to, they don't want to take responsibility. Drives me nuts. I try to own everything. Like, I've always been like that, I
have always been like that since I was a toddler. Like, I don't know. I always had this thing because, a lot of my mom's congregation people, and congregation is the word that they use in Kingdom Hall, like Jehovah's Witness. I've mentioned it before. So we had a lot of my mom's other, I guess, members that lived around our area. And I would always be doing something stupid, whether it was climbing trees with boys or... The thing is that I was very close with my brothers growing up, like super close. So we had the same group of friends, and they were all the same group of boys. My brothers are boys, I was a girl, and it just happened to be that way.
Right.
And I remember one time, it was so innocent what we were doing. Well, maybe we could have gotten in trouble for it, but looking now as an adult, I was like, that was pretty lame. So it was me, my two brothers, and two other boys that were in our neighborhood. And we grew up in Allstate now it's called the Allstate Arena, but back then when we were growing up, it was called the Rose Mountain Horizon. There was a lot of hotels there. There was like the Holiday Inn. There was a Ramada. There was
because the airport's right there.
Yeah, so we were always around the hotels and stuff. And we found out that there was a vending machine in the hotel. And we would go in the hotel, buy snacks like from the machine because my mom had this bucket of change. So it was perfect. We'd grab handfuls, go over there to the vending machines in the hotel, get like the snacks, and then we would just leave. We wouldn't even like mess around in there or anything. And one of our friends' parents worked at the hotel, and they told my mom that they saw me leaving the hotel with like 4 boys or 5 boys or something.
Oh my gosh.
And no. I had told my mom like what we did that day. I was like, we went to I think it was the Holiday Inn. I don't remember. But I was like, we went to the Holiday Inn, we took some change and we bought some snacks. And my mom was like, where's mine? Give me something.
Right.
And she didn't even think it was a big deal because we weren't doing anything like technically wrong. I mean, we shouldn't have been in the hotel, granted, but we honestly just went in there.
But this machine was just in the lobby, right? I'm assuming.
I think so. I think it was like behind the lobby.
So I don't think that's...
We weren't... You see what I'm saying? It was innocent. But somebody turned it around and told my mom, like, your daughter was coming out of like the hotel with all these boys. And then my mom kind of laughed and she came home and she's like, where were you yesterday? And I was like, I was like I was with my 2 brothers, such and such, and the other boy. And my mom's like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. I was like, you saw the snacks that we bought, Mom. Like, why are you questioning me? And my mom's like, somebody told me that they saw you come out of the hotel with a bunch of boys. I was like,
well, yeah, your brothers are boys.
Yeah. And the other 2 were brothers.
Like friends, right?
No, they were like brothers. Like, but they were friends of ours, but they were like brothers.
Right.
And my mom laughs and she's like asking the guys, like, is that true? They're like, yeah, why is this so weird? Like, my brother...
They didn't know what was going on.
No, I think I was like 12 around that time. And I even wasn't understanding what the hell my mom was talking about, But it was stuff like that. And I would always, from that point on, whenever I did something bad, or I got caught doing something stupid, or I did something bad in school, I would run home and tell my mom. And by the time whoever was telling my mom something bad that I did, my mom already knew. So the punishment wasn't there, because I was very honest and upfront with my mom.
Right.
So I've always kind of kept that part of me to kind of try to be as honest as possible in most situations or all situations. But again, we've talked about white lies in the past, and I'm guilty of said lies.
You're going to catch hell now.
I don't care. I'm being honest.
Because you're a liar.
I am.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question, and you better not lie.
Okay.
What do you avoid doing, even though you know it would move your life forward?
Going back to school. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. Just going back to school.
Yeah. I mean, what else is there?
I don't know. I could probably burn up minutes talking about this. I won't go into great detail. I would say I'm fixing that issue, right? Stuff that I've been avoiding.
Right.
I've been trying to, like I said, take more accountability for stuff and seeing where I need to work on things and start working on them. And
I thought you meant like goals.
what?
I thought you meant like a goal or something. That's what I'm saying.
No, like things you're avoiding to do, like folding the laundry and washing clothes.
Excuse me. Okay. Don't even get me started on
I
that.
knew that would trigger her.
Don't. Yes,
I knew
that is my biggest trigger. Do not say I don't do those things because I do.
Success. Would you like to change your answer?
No.
Okay. So anyways, before you rudely interrupted, I don't even remember what I was saying.
I had to defend my honor.
Anyways. Allow me to continue.
Continue.
What the hell was I saying? Anyways, so yeah, I think I've been doing pretty good lately. I think sometimes people don't consciously avoid things. I think I'm guilty of that. Like, there's things I do kind of put to the back burner or whatever, but there's sometimes I think there's things that just,
I think, that brings up a good point. I think sometimes people avoid doing certain things to avoid feeling something.
Yes.
And I've been guilty of that in the past, I think.
I think everyone has.
Yeah, it's normal. I think maybe if we sit down and think about everything that we could do, I mean, there's so many things that you can change to kind of like better your situation. But if you're just sitting there whining and complaining and just throwing your hands up in the air and saying, help me.
Some people love to be like that. And I don't get that.
I can't be like that.
I don't like being like all helpless.
No.
Woe to me.
You have to help yourself.
Yeah.
You can pray out to baby Jesus all you want, but sometimes you have
gotta
to
put in the you gotta put in the work.
Effort.
Yep.
And I don't know. I can't. I hate being like that, and I try not to be like that. Like especially when I get depressed or frustrated or stressed out. I have to sit down and complain just to let it out.
Yeah.
But I try not. You know me. I'm a shoot now, ask questions later type of person. So I just want to get that emotion out and move on and just be done with it.
So like, what kind of life would you build if you didn't need anybody's approval?
The life I have now.
Yes, this lavishness.
This lavishness. No, I don't need anybody's approval for anything.
Atta girl. That's an attitude to have.
I'm a grown-ass independent woman until I need something done. Then I'm like, babe.
That is true. It's funny sometimes when Gloria's like, I can do this or I'll do it. And then next thing I hear, babe. It's like I knew it.
He knew what he was getting into when he got married. I don't feel bad for him, and neither should you.
I will stand up and say I don't need anyone's approval for anything.
No.
However, and I think a lot of people fall into this, I think it's almost like subconsciously you do want people's approval.
I don't.
You know what I mean? And then if you get that critique that you're not good enough or what you did doing is stupid or a waste of time,
I've heard that lately, actually.
we have to have a conference later, a meeting later. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You know, I think that if I would have listened to people's opinions, I wouldn't be as happy as I am now.
I think the reason I ended up the way I ended up was because I listened to people and not listened to myself.
Right. And I've always had that independent spirit to where I don't care if you like me. I don't need your approval. Even to my family, you know, I've never needed anybody's approval for anything.
Yeah.
And that is seen as such a like rebellious thing in a Latin household when you start to say like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, when you start talking up for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the resistance. But you
That
know,
is true.
It is, but you have to do it because if you don't, you're just going to let people step all over you and then you become the problem.
What do you admire in other people that you don't have, that you're not doing right now? Is that, I think that makes sense.
No. Can you explain that?
So so if you're observing other people, what are they doing that you're admiring that you're currently not doing, that you're not doing?
I don't know how to answer that because, and this is a genuine answer. I do not compare myself to anybody because my version of success is different than somebody else's version of success.
You know, you and I have discussed this before.
Yeah.
And I know one thing that you would always tell me is you can't compare your situation or our situation to the guy down the street or
Right.
across the street or at work or wherever, because everyone's different.
Yeah.
And
I've always thought that and believed that.
yeah.
Oh, no, where were you going with that?
Oh, I thought you were going to elaborate.
No, well, I think that's very important to like remember and realize because, you know, I've said this, Joel said this, we've talked about this a billion times. People put too much focus on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and is Twitter a thing anymore? Well, whatever.
I think it's
I don't know,
now.
whatever.
I don't know.
Social media in general. You know, we're scrolling, we see people on vacation, buying new cars, buying these beautiful, gorgeous houses, going on vacations out of the country, going out of the state, having properties here, having properties there, buying the Jordan shoes, you know, getting tattoos, just all this stuff, you know. And it's all an illusion. Like, everybody's putting the best parts of their life on the feed. And
Yeah, they're just showing you what they want you to see.
right.
Yeah.
You don't know whether Billy Bob down the street, you know, yeah, he went to vacation in Paris and Rome and all that, but that might have meant that he used up all of his credit cards to make the payments to go. You don't know people's situations, you know.
You know, a little side note, I knew somebody, like, they were always buying like this nice clothes and shoes and all this stuff, and I always thought, man, this person must have their stuff together or something, because look at them. And then I found out later that they had crippling debt,
Yeah.
like bad.
And for what? For things that don't really benefit you other than just appearance. So that's why, you know, I tell you all the time, like, you know, I see people travel all the time, right? And that's something that I've always wanted to do. And I wasn't able to do it for a long time because I was caring for my grandmother, right? Now my situation has changed. You know, things are starting to get a little bit better. Maybe we're not in the position right now to travel. And sometimes it's like, oh, excuse me, guys. Sometimes it's like, you know, I start to think like, oh, so-and-so goes out on vacation too much, or I wish I can go on vacation like that every so often. But in reality, it's like, that's not what's important to me. I've kind of refocused more on us and our household. And, I would rather spend what little I can on my garden, which brings me genuine joy, than to go on vacation somewhere and spend the money and come back and then just have the memory of it. To where the garden is something that I've worked on, that I've laid the soil, I've nurtured it, it's grown. That gives me more satisfaction. So sometimes you kind of have to readjust your way of thinking to be in a happy place or to be in a good place. Because, while traveling is nice and buying jewelry and all that stuff is like soothing to some people, like to me, I'm not interested in the materialistic things.
I don't. The older I get, and like now, the stuff that I admire is not, and like you're talking about a lot of the material stuff,
Right?
I don't care about none of that.
Exactly.
My thing now is, especially now with some of my peers and friends of mine and stuff like that, the things I admire is like their integrity, their intelligence, their knowledge,
Right.
stuff like that. And that's what I want. That's I don't care about that other stuff. I care
Right.
about the
And
important stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It's the stuff that we see on Facebook and all that. It's all an illusion and just part of somebody's life. They could be on vacation, but they could be fighting like cats and dogs,
Right.
and crippling debt, or all this other stuff that they can be going through, and you just see the picture of them smiling in the Bahamas. And that's what I'm saying. To me, like, that stuff is like, I don't care about that. To me, it's important to spend time with my family,
Right.
to make memories with my family, to be there for my niece and nephew as they get older. Building a relationship with my sister, all these things that I guess I find important. To me, that's the kind of life that I want. It'd be great to go on all these like amazing adventures and stuff, but I'm happy with my life, and I really don't envy people for whatever it is that they're doing with themselves. I'm happy for them. More power to you, but I mean, you got a Prada bag. I'm happy for you that you're happy that you have that. But to me, it's more important to spend time with you, with my mom, with my brothers, with family, and building those memories. That to me is what I don't really care about, what other people have and don't have.
And that's how we will end it.
Excellent.
Don't forget the website, guys. Sessions and Lessons Unscripted.com. And to send us an email, it is sessionsandlessonsmail@gmail.com. And feel free to drop a line about anything. Visit us on the socials. All of them. The most popular one's TikTok, I guess, right now at the moment. It's the hottest one. And don't forget my book, May December End, The Ballad of Joey Flowers. It's available now on Amazon Kindle, and Nook. And is there anything you would like to plug or anything, my dear?
Absolutely. Once you guys are done listening to this episode, head on over to Glowing Off Script. It's my podcast. Check me out. We drop episodes every Friday without fail, hopefully, right? We've been doing good so far.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but check me out. I am currently looking for guests, so if you're interested in being on an episode, have an interesting story, something funny to talk about, or just want to come out and hang out with me, let me know at gloingoffscript@yahoo.com.
All right, everybody. That's it. We appreciate all of you guys. Seriously. Spread the word. We will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Perhaps my story and ramblings will help others who can relate. We are all human. We are all damaged in some way, but we also have the power to cope and overcome. The journey doesn't end. The journey continues.
May December End. The Ballad of Joey Flowers. New book available now on Amazon and Amazon Kindle.